And we are live. Woohoo! Okay, so dear SCOPH Heroes, participants of the SCOPH sessions in March meeting, welcome to our prep webinar. It doesn't matter if you're experienced or inexperienced. This webinar is for both experienced and non-experienced participants. At the start, we're going to discuss a little bit more the structure of SCOPH. So if you're more experienced, you might be a little bit less interested. But still, if you're interested in the structure of programs, you might want to hang around anyway, because we're going to go over that with you. So during this call, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about the structure of SCOPH and IFMSA, the structure of programs, give you an introduction to the agenda of our sessions, pass over some ground rules, the code of conduct, and then briefly discuss what we're expecting from you as participants, and then mention a little bit of information about the National Food and Drinking Party and a couple of reminders on what to bring. If you have any questions at all during this call, please feel free to write them in the comments in the YouTube, and Katja will be looking out for your questions and comments. So she will be interrupting me during the call and letting me know about your questions. So please feel free to interact with us. We are here for you. So please take advantage of us being here. So first things first, I would like you to meet some of our incredible sessions team members. And these are the people who have been working so hard for the last few weeks to create amazing sessions for you guys. So here are a few of them. First, we have Laia.
Hello. Okay, so my name is Laia and I'm from Aix, Catalonia. And I've been involved in SCOPH for 3 years now. I started as LPO, then I was in the local board, but I attended the SCOPH sessions in Malta. And now I'm the MPO and part of the sessions team. And I'm really looking forward to this GA because I think it's really great to get to know all of you and learn from you. I think we might have prepared some sessions, but what really matters is how you feel about them and the feedback you give. So I just can't wait to see how it goes. Welcome to everyone.
Okay, thank you, Laia. And then we have Katja.
Hi everyone, my name is Katja. I'm from Slomsik, Slovenia, and I'm the SCOPH General Assistant for this term. I've been in SCOPH for 3 or 4 years now, and what I'm most looking forward to is seeing all of you working together and seeing so much orange SCOPH spirit. See you in Budva.
And then we have Ahmed.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Abbadi from IFMSA, a SCOPH Regional Assistant for the EMR. And I'm really excited to make new friends and get a lot of people in the GA and finally reunite with the SCOPH IT.
Okay, and Tarek might also be joining us soon, but I'll let him introduce himself when he's here. Hi, I'm Ella. I'm the SCOPH director for this term. I'm from Switzerland, and I've been in SCOPH for about 4 years now.
When he's here. Hi, I'm Ella. I'm the SCOPH director for this term. I'm from Switzerland, and
Tarek, you're gonna have to mute your microphone.
Hi everyone.
YouTube video. Go ahead.
Hey, my name is Tarek. I'm from Tunisia. I'm the NPO of Tunisia. I will be part of the sessions team, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all.
Great. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for being in this webinar. So now we're going to move on to the structure of SCOPH. This is especially important if it's your first GA because we're going to try and give you a little bit of insight on the structure. So I'm going to share my screen with you because I prepared some slides. Let's see if this works. Okay. All right, so you can see my slides now. All right, so welcome to SCOPH, the Standing Committee on Public Health. It's one of IFMSA's 6 standing committees, or you could also call them departments if it makes it clearer for you. In SCOPH, we believe that each medical student is a future public health leader. And we believe in promoting health in the world to make the world a better place. Easy, right? This means that we believe that you, no matter how inexperienced or experienced you are a future public health leader as well. So SCOPH sessions for us is literally an event for leaders to meet with each other. So how is SCOPH organized in IFMSA? I tried to make it as simple as possible. At the end, we might have a little bit of a complex diagram, but feel free to watch the video over if you're confused at all. So IFMSA is composed of what I'm now going to call an administrative side and a health-related side, just to make it simpler. There, of course, are a lot of gray zones, but let's just keep it between admin and health for now. So the admin side is mostly composed of the IFMSA Executive Board. And the Executive Board counts 7 different positions, I think. So the first one is the IFMSA President. Currently, the IFMSA President is Omar Chirouaki from IFMSA Morocco. Then we have the Vice President for Members, who takes care of all of the relations with the NMOs, seeing how to make the work easier for the NMOs and keeping communication with them if they have any problem, if they need support. Then we have the Vice President for Capacity Building, who is responsible for increasing capacity in the Federation, especially through workshops and this kind of thing. Then we have the Vice President for Activities. He's the person who is responsible for a lot of the administration of the Federation, but also helping keep track of all of the activities that we perform in our Federation. Then there's the Vice President for Finances. Well, that's quite easy. He takes care of the money, all of the budget, which sometimes can be extremely complicated in IFMSA, and probably you'll have heard stories and rumors about money issues that this GA will be probably a big topic, but more of that when we get to GA. Then we have the Vice President for Publications and the Vice President for External Affairs. So together, these 7 people compose the EB. Now, the members of the EB are voted during the March meeting. So all of the candidates who will be presenting themselves this March meeting will be EB members. Okay. What some people might not know about these positions is that these people are actually liable for the Federation, which means that if something happens to the IFMSA, these people will have to respond. So this makes it so that it truly is in their interest to strengthen the Federation and make sure everything is going smoothly. Then aside from the EB, there are also other officials in IFMSA, which complete the so-called team of officials, but we'll see the end of the diagram later. The TO counts different subgroups of people. So these subgroups are, the first one is the regional directors. So the regional directors are officials who are responsible for each one of the 6 regions that we have in IFMSA. For example, the regional director for Asia Pacific. They're responsible for having contacts with all of the presidents in their region and then all of the regional assistants in the region for the different standing committees. Then we have the liaison officers. So the liaison officers are more centered on external work. External work means that they are responsible for finding opportunities to create collaborations with external organizations, partnerships, and this kind of thing. Example is the liaison officer for public health, who is part of SCOPH. But then we also have liaison officers such as the liaison officer to the WHO or the liaison officer for human rights and peace, and so on. And then last but not least, we have the standing committee directors, for example, me, the SCOPH director, and then we have a director for each one of the standing committees. So we are, let's say, more health-oriented in the sense that the work that we do is mostly related to promoting topics and working with participants, supporting them with their activities, this kind of thing. A little bit less of the admin work, whereas the EB really does have a lot of the admin work. But as I said before, there is a little bit of a gray zone between these, because standing committee directors and all of the other team of officials also do admin work, and then the EB also does health promotion work. So there is a little bit of a coming and going between these two things. Okay, and then another way we could divide these officials is between internal and external work. So, for example, we have the liaison officers who are working on the external side. The vice president for external activities usually takes care of the liaison officers. Then we have the vice president for publications, who can also create publications to be shown on the exterior side. VPF, who can find funders, sponsors outside of the federation. So these people can be oriented towards the external work. And then we have the officials who are more oriented towards the internal work, mostly the standing committee directors. The regional directors can sort of be in between the two. And then we have, the vice president for members oriented towards internal, vice president activities as well, and the vice president for capacity building. And then just to focus on SCOPH a little bit, we have me as the SCOPH D, I'm internal, and then Skander, the liaison officer for public health issues, as external. Now, Skander, you can also call him Skandersaurus because he's been around for a long time, or you can call him Skanderdance because he's a very good salsa dancer. So yeah, more about that at the GA. Do we have any questions? Take that for a no. Okay. Have you guys been, by the way, have you guys been seeing the slides changing? Hello, sessions team. Somebody give me an answer, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, great. Okay. So now to talk about, and now that you have a basic idea of IFMSA structure in mind, we can add a dimension to it, which are the IFMSA programs. So IFMSA programs are relatively new, and they've been running for 2 years now. Trying to put it simply, IFMSA identified that we're giving priority to a certain number of topics in the activities that we do. Because as a federation, it's important for us to understand what impact we have. Are we making a difference in the world at all, basically? And also that it's important for us to give support to everyone who's working on these topics. IFMSA approved 18 different programs, which are sort of like umbrellas to all of the activities that are done surrounding them. So I'll give you an example. For example, here the little red dots are, for example, activities that have to do with one program. But let's make a concrete example. Example is, let's say you're doing a World Diabetes Day activity. Let's say that you've screened 300 people, 3,000 people to see if they have diabetes or not. And as a federation, we're interested in knowing that. We're interested in knowing that that happened in that local committee in that one country. So diabetes would enter in the non-communicable diseases and healthy lifestyles program. But more about the names of programs later. So what would happen in this case is that the program coordinator, because each program has a program coordinator, and the World Diabetes Day activity coordinator would get in touch. And then there would be an enrollment process, and then the activity would be registered under IFMSA. This means that IFMSA will be able to track the impact of this activity, and then the coordinator of the activity would have the support of IFMSA for their activity, which means that they can use the logo of IFMSA and then all of the resources that IFMSA has to give. It is definitely a win-win situation if everyone knows about it. So what happens when everyone is reporting all of the activities that they're doing? This would mean that we would have a clear idea of the impact that IFMSA has in the whole world, which is what we're working towards right now. So because programs are new, you can imagine that there are some difficulties and some challenges, but this is also because we're working in such a large federation. So programs are working in 2 domains as well. The first domain is the domain of promoting their topic. So you have the program of non-communicable diseases and healthy lifestyles. They would be promoting non-communicable disease and healthy lifestyles. And then as a SCOPH director, I would be following that topic promotion. And then what they're doing is they're also recording impact of the activities that are being done, and they're enrolling those activities. And the person responsible for that is the Vice President for Activities of IFMSA. As you remember from before, he's one of the executive board members. So we have 18 programs. Of course, we have programs that are more relevant to one particular standing committee or another, even though there are very large overlap zones. And once you see the names of the programs, you'll right away realize how it's possible that we do have these overlap zones. So for SCOPH programs, we have 7 of them. We have healthy lifestyles and NCDs. Then, as we mentioned before, for example, World Diabetes Day. Then we have mental health, children, health and rights. This, for example, is a shared program between SCOPH and SCORP. Then we have environment and health, health systems, organ tissue and marrow donation, and communicable diseases. So these are mainly SCOPH. Of course, other programs can also be a little bit SCOPH, just like these programs can also be a little bit of something else. So what's important for you is just to keep these 7 in mind, because usually they're relevant to the work that we do in SCOPH. So we would like you guys to get to know these. Okay. So this is where I'm going to stop for now on programs, unless somebody has questions. Of course, there's a lot more to say about these and the structure of IFMSA, but I think that for now, if these things are clear enough to you, then we already have a really great start going for our sessions. Do we have any questions so far?
Nope, not yet. Please feel free to ask us questions. So just comment on the section and I'll inform Ella about it.
Okay, great. All right, so let's talk about the sessions. The first thing that we would like to talk to you about is the general atmosphere of our sessions. We strongly believe in practicing what we preach, and we strongly believe in promoting the health of everyone, including ourselves. We believe that you are the public health leaders of the future, so we will expect to see you being leaders in our sessions. The GA we are preparing for is a GA in which you're arriving to represent your country, and we are eager to discover a lot about you and your work. In most of our sessions, we will not be having long presentations about topics that you could easily learn about at home, so they will not be Wikipedia sessions. We want these sessions to be strongly focused on the participants and what you guys have to share. So what we're asking you is, first of all, to be on time to our sessions and to prepare for them, so you can gain the most out of them and so everyone else can learn the most from you as well. So at this point, it's important for us to mention the code of conduct, which has been developing over the past GAs, and right now we're slowly reaching a finalized form of it. If you're new, you might wonder whatever could go wrong during a GA, but we have to remember that we're at a meeting with hundreds of people and hundreds of different cultures and very many different languages. So this can mean that problems just happen because of the sheer number of people who are there. So just a summary of the code of conduct is included in the survival kit, and I would invite you all to read it carefully. We're trying ever more to push for respect during our general assemblies, and respect goes in many different directions. And it goes from accepting different cultures to being aware of, I don't know, sexual consent. It's also about respecting yourself, your mind, your body, and paying attention to yourself to ensure that you experience that your experience during this General Assembly is the best that you could possibly have. Some points from the Code of Conduct, just in short, are respect, boast for yourself and for others, speak no evil, try and be positive about your attitude and about other people's attitudes, and clean up and be eco-friendly. Sometimes we forget that it's also our responsibility to clean up. And then actively participate, because this is also a form of respect, and just care. Care for yourself being at the meeting, care for others as well. And this is really, really important. We know that some people drink and party, and some people drink and party hard. And socials are part of the GA experience, and it's fine to have fun. It is up to you how you organize your time, and it's also up to you how you make sure you stay safe, and others as well. So for sessions, it is our duty to present you with interactive and engaging experiences. That said, we do have a disclaimer. If you show up with a hangover and expect us to energize you, that is not what the sessions team is there for. So you are responsible for your own energy and your own sleeping hours, because we cannot do that for you. And then more about the National Food and Drinking Party, or Drinks Party, depending on which region of the world you're in. On the evening of the first working day, there will be the National Food and Drinks Party. This is a party during which everyone can discover food and drinks from all other countries, and it's usually an incredible experience, especially if it's your first GA. The OC, the organizing committee, is going to ask the different countries to leave the first hour alcohol-free. So you can already let your delegation know if they don't know already, because the word will be passed along. Also, it is traditional for SCOPH to organize the SCOPH Guardians table. And the SCOPH Guardians have the responsibility of handing out water through the National Food and Drinks Party to attempt to decrease the consumption of alcohol and the effects of overdrinking. So we've seen that this initiative has a really, really good result with people who drink. It makes people more conscious about the amount of alcohol they're drinking. It makes people conscious about trying to drink less. And it also helps to make people feel like they're responsible for themselves. We have estimated that during this March meeting, we might reach around 300 liters of water handed out to participants. And that is a lot of water. So we need volunteers to help us. So you are definitely free to volunteer. We would love you to help out if you'd like to. And we'll also remind you of this again on the first day of GA. But if you already know that you want to volunteer as a SCOPH Guardian, just feel free to let us know. Okay, any questions about code of conduct?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right, so moving on to the second phase of our call, we'll move on to the session's agenda. I don't know if you can see it well through the webinar window, but feel free to open their survival kit. Yeah, you guys have the survival kit. Yeah, just feel free to open the survival kit and look at the agenda if this is too small for you. But I'm just going to walk through it fairly swiftly, just mentioning a few important points. So we have day one. Day one is an introductory day. What we'll try to do is we'll try to fill you in on everything about our standing committee, what we've been up to lately. We'll try to solve any doubts you might still have about our structure, and discuss together our vision, mission, our methods, our outcomes. So during day one, we'll also ask for your input on the SCOPH strategy, and you can see the SCOPH strategy consult is after the break on day one. And the reason why we're doing that is the strategy can only exist if everyone agrees to work towards it together. And this is why it's so important for members to be a part of it. So what we're doing now is we're going to be renewing the strategy. So it's going to be the SCOPH strategy 2017, 2020, or 21, depending on what we agree on. So during this session, everyone will be really important to give shape to the work of our standing committee for the next 3 years. And it's important both for experienced members to give their input, but also for the less experienced members to give their input, because you guys are going to be the experienced ones in the next 2 years. Then we have the last session, which is the SCOPH Talks. And during the last session of the morning, we're going to have 7 SCOPH heroes who will be delivering some inspirational speeches about different topics. And they will be rounding off our introductory morning. So day one really is about getting people in the SCOPH atmosphere, getting everyone ready for the days ahead. So if you are confused about anything at the end of day one, make sure you approach us so we can help you out. Also, if you do want more information about SCOPH, you can find more information about SCOPH on the ifmsa.org website, or you can just approach anyone in the sessions team and fill them up with questions, and they will be more than happy to answer you. So moving on to day 2. Day 2 is when we start approaching some of the large topics that SCOPH works with. And you'll also see that these topics have corresponding programs. So they really are topics that we work on a lot in SCOPH. There has been a little bit of confusion here about the agenda, but these sessions are running in parallel, which means that as participants, you're going to have to choose one that you want to attend. So you have to make a choice. Now, the reason why we created parallels is because it allows us to have longer sessions on these topics. Otherwise, we would have to divide it 45 minutes and 45 minutes, and that really doesn't it doesn't really give us time to get in depth on these subjects. So that's why we're asking you to choose one. So we will have a sign-up sheet for these sessions on day 1. And the objective of the aims of these sessions are to ask, what are we doing in IFMSA? What is our impact so far? How is the world developing in terms of communicable and non-communicable diseases? And then we'll try to answer these questions and then see what you guys are up to, share some best practices, find some common ground, some agreements, and see the way forward for the next few months of work in SCOPH. So this is the first session during which it is 100% important that you come prepared, because the quality of these sessions is directly linked to how much you guys put into it. So the more we all work for them, the richer these sessions will get. So for this, I advise you to read the come prepared boxes in the survival kit. So if you don't want to read any of the survival kit except a tiny bit of it, read the come prepared boxes, because those are the most important. In the second part of the morning on day 2, we're going to have the global health and global public health. So we will be honored to have Dr. Bettina Borish. She's the executive officer of the World Federation of Public Health Associations, also known as WFPHA, but we can call it the World Federation of Public Health Associations if you want. It will cover the introductions to global health, complementing public health, but also a new concept that the World Federation of Public Health Associations is working on together with the WHO, the World Health Organization. And then we have the last session of the morning, which will be policy discussion. So if you're experienced, you will probably want to go and give your input or opinion or ask questions about certain policy documents. If you have very little to no experience about policy documents and you don't really feel comfortable or inspired to go join the policy discussions, we're currently designing a session that will be able to explain you and give you an overview about why we have policy documents, what they are, what they're used for, just all of those details that will bring you up to speed on policy documents in IFMSA, so that you'll be able to follow the discussions in the plenary and follow the decisions that we make as well. So you'll be able to feel a little bit more engaged during the GA if you follow this session. Okay, so no questions, day 1 and day 2?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Either it's because everyone's totally, utterly confused, or it's because it's very clear. So I really hope it's the second one.
It's super clear.
Okay, that's very sweet of you. Okay, so let's talk about day 3. Day 3, we have parallel sessions again. And as participants, you'll be able to choose between the mental health or the universal health coverage plus rural health. And because there will be the program session right after these sessions, both the mental health and the universal health coverage, which is part of the health systems program, will continue inside the program session. So it's not just 1 hour, it's actually the whole morning throughout. The topic might shift a bit and vary, because the facilitators might not just do mental health for 2 hours, the same topic. They might change it depending on the group and depending on what they've planned. The work might just continue if the participants are very engaged. This will depend on the facilitators, but also on your interest. So you can attend mental health until 11:15 and then go to a different session within the program session. Or if you're really involved in mental health, you can just keep going on with mental health during the program session, because during the program session, we're going to have more parallels, but they will be multiple parallels related to some of the programs. So in SCOPH, if I remember correctly, we're going to have mental health, the universal health coverage in the health systems. We're going to have organ, marrow, and tissue donation, and then also non-communicable diseases, which could also continue the work from the day before. So you're going to have different parallels. You can also join a program that is not SCOPH related, so that's up to you, or you can just stick with those sessions that you joined during the morning. Yeah. Okay, so during the program session as well, aside from the parallels on the different topics, there will also be an advanced session about impact evaluation and programs reporting. So if you're more interested in getting into the more technical side of IFMSA programs and understanding it more in depth, there will also be a session just about that. So the objectives of the mental health and the universal health coverage sessions are similar to those for day 2, the NCDs and CDs. It's the goals, you'll find them in the survival kit, but it's developing participants' awareness about the work performed worldwide by IFMSA and other partner organizations, promote sharing of best practices about local or national activities, creating a series of common agreements on possible developments, and increase participants' knowledge about the topic. So for these sessions, you're also expected to come prepare. Please read the come prepared boxes in the survival kit. Please, please, please read them. And that's the end of day 3. Then we have day 4. And in day 4, we've decided to put more capacity building based sessions, as in it's what you would generally call training sessions, on topics that are related to public health. And these will also be parallels. So it will be up to you to choose one of them according to the one you think you'll be able to benefit from the most. So also for these, we will be hanging sign-up papers on our walls on day 1 of sessions, so you can sign up as soon as you enter our room. And to ensure that in the equal distribution, we will be limiting the number of participants per parallel for all of the parallels we have. So make sure you sign up fast if you're particularly interested in one of the topics. No questions?
None so far.
Okay. And then we have the administrative day, but not before our session on conflict of interest is over. So conflict of interest is a topic that's rarely talked about during our general assemblies. So we thought it would be a good idea to give it space this time. We're going to have facilitators from Italy and Spain who are very experienced in this topic, and they will try and increase participants' knowledge about it and engage you, hopefully, with their passion for this subject. And we're looking forward to it being a very interesting session indeed. In session of the morning, we have Skandersaurus, who will give us an update on the work he has been performing externally as a liaison officer for public health. And then we're going to have the MPO's plenary, during which we're going to agree on the way forward on a couple of things. You can also find this in the survival kit. So notably, it's going to be the public health leadership training guidelines revision. We've had a small working group working on this. Then we're going to review the SCOPH regulations, discuss a little bit the progress on the SCOPH toolkits so far, or manuals, depending on how you want to call them. Discuss the development of the SCOPH e-learning, and then talk about SCOPH exchanges and the way forward of SCOPH exchanges. SCOPH exchanges will also have been discussed during the joint sessions on day 2. And then, yeah, we're also going to discuss the SCOPH page on the ifmsa.org website. So I would urge all of the MPOs to please reread our current SCOPH regulations. You can find them on the SCOPH public database, or just ask us. Possibly have a look at the World Diabetes Day manual if you have not yet, because that'll give you an idea of the toolkits. And also just have a look at the SCOPH page on ifmsa.org website, because we would discuss how to try and go forward on that. So the other participants, they will either be able to watch the plenary, the MPO plenary, or we're going to create an alternate program for them. And we're still discussing this. It's kind of going to depend on the other participants, what they feel like and what we feel is most beneficial to them. And then you'll see at the end of the morning of day 5, we have an open hour. And the open hour is because often during GAs, participants ask for more time spent on a specific topic. And we usually don't really have any time to put that because our agenda is full. So we've left that open hour so we can tackle these topics that people still want to talk about. And that so the participants can leave our GA satisfied that they've spent enough time on everything they wanted to work on. Then in the afternoon, we're going to summarize everything that we've agreed on the GA and present the outcomes of the strategy consult, so the way forward on that. And then we'll have our wrap up. So this is roughly our agenda. And I'm definitely ready for questions. And then just a few reminders is bring something orange or your SCOPH t-shirt. You most likely will be able to buy a SCOPH t-shirt at the GA in any case, especially for the group photo at the end of day 5. And then feel free to bring even more orange accessories. Some of the international team has been coloring their hair orange, so you're going to see some of that at GA. We've been told that it's fairly cold in Montenegro, so remember to bring warm clothing. And also, very, very important to remember, we're going to have an experiences wall in our room. And we're really looking forward to seeing all of your posters and information about your activities. So the way we propose to do it is a photo of you, plus any flyers or other material you might have about your activities. So the reason we were asking you for a photo is that so this way people who are interested in knowing more about your activity actually can see who you are, and then they can approach you in the sessions. And then remember, you can volunteer for the SCOPH Guardians at the National Food and Drinks Party. And please remember to carefully read the Code of Conduct and the prep boxes of the survival kit. And that is it from me. So I'm just going to close this. And if you guys have any questions, we'd be very happy to answer them. So maybe we can give 2 minutes for questions.
Yeah, we just received one question from Louis from Indonesia.
Okay.
About the policy discussion. Where can he get the policy documents?
Oh, okay. So the policy documents have been sent to all the NMOs multiple times. And there's a brief description of the policy documents in the survival kit. Now, if Louis, and I remember you, I know who you are. If you absolutely have not seen any of these emails at all, then you can just write to us and we'll forward them to you. I think that's the best solution I can think of. Alternatively, we could ask Skander to make a post on Facebook so everyone can access them. Maybe we can do that. We can put the policy documents in the participants' Facebook group. I think that would work the best. I'll just write that down. Okay, any other questions? Don't be shy. Katja?
No questions so far, but maybe you could tell them about the mails that they should have received from the sessions team and to remind people to reply to them.
Yes, so what we're doing, yeah, that's true. That could actually be something important. What we're doing this GA is we're really trying to get in contact with you guys personally. So we got the list of participants and we divided the list between the whole sessions team, and each person in the sessions team has a set of participants to approach. Now, some of them have been approached with an email, so please answer that email. So the reason is that we're trying to see who of you actually is coming to GA and who isn't, because we know there have been a lot of visa issues and that some cancellations just happen for emergencies. So we're trying to have a finalized list of actually who really is going to be in Montenegro in a week. So please answer those emails or those Facebook messages, whatever it is, and just let us know that you are going to be there so we can put a green mark on our list. What we're also considering is the certification process. And what we've been considering with the TO, but it is not confirmed yet, so it is not official yet, is that we might only be giving certificates to the people who attend 4 out of 5 days of SCOPH sessions. So this is another reason why we want to know that you're going to be there. So we want your name so that we can mark your attendance every day of the GA and SCOPH sessions. Anything else that comes to mind, sessions team, that I didn't say?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay, or that you guys want to say? Nope. Okay, so we got no more questions. All right, so I'll wait 1 more minute just in case. Maybe Katya, you can turn your cam on again so everyone can see your orange hair. There you are. Yay.
Yeah, we haven't received any more questions, but Luis thanks you for your answer.
Great. All right.
Your hair is really orange.
Who, Katya's or mine?
Yeah, Katja. I got this is the blue one.
It used to be blue. It used to be purple as well. Now it's orange.
It was a very long operation of advocacy from my part. Lots of advocacy skills to get her hair orange.
Yeah, true.
Advocacy works.
Yes.
You guys can give me feedback during the sessions.
About the orange hair. Yep. Okay.
I don't think we're getting any more questions, so.
All right, so I think we're gonna just close the call. For those who followed us the whole way, thank you so much for being in this call with us. And we hope you guys will have an amazing experience at the GA. Okay, so bye.
See you soon.
Bye bye.